What's up, guys? My name is Fico and this is my gaming mind. And I would like to start by saying that Mass Effect 3 was awesome. I personally think, this is my sincere and honest opinion, that Mass Effect 3 blew away all my expectations. I mean, it definitely hit every note. It hit every single thing that I wanted it to do. And as far as the journey goes, the experience, this is sort of like the results of all of what you've done throughout your first two adventures. It is a huge payoff to see such a game that dives you in and doesn't let you go. It's just a path of destruction that goes on throughout the beginning of the game till the very end of the game, and I cannot express enough how awesome the entire experience was. Mass Effect 3 was a really, really good way to end it. Now, for the gameplay itself, the gameplay is much better, and the characters are still great. The new characters have also had a pretty good thing to the story. There are like characters that you sort of get to know, and then there are characters that you kind of already know from the experience, characters that evolve, that change. I guess the biggest thing, the biggest critique that I've got, the most positive critique that I've got, is that the decisions that you make throughout the entire series, if you played the first and the second game, you are going to notice that there are going to be some things that happen that you wonder, could they have happened if I hadn't done that one thing back in the first game or the second game? Maybe some things that might actually happen in this game could actually happen if these characters were still around, or if these characters weren't around, or if anything from that matter. I'm not going to spoil it because I think you should all play the first, second, and then take those two experiences and mash them up and play the third. My opinion, if you want to play the third, go right ahead, but you are missing a huge amount of story, of character build-up, as well as the importance of the entire, reason for this game for being. I mean, would you watch the third part of a trilogy when a lot of events from the first two movies happen? Would you watch Return of the Jedi not knowing what happened in A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back? Would you skip all the way to The Matrix Revolutions and not see anything at all from the first and the second movies? You'd be completely confused. You wouldn't know what was going on, who was who, what was what, and above all, you would not know what the Matrix is, because that's the whole freaking point of the movies. But Mass Effect 3 has also hit with controversy because of the ending, and that is something that I am not going to spoil. Now, what do I think about the ending? Well, in my personal opinion, I think that Mass Effect as a whole has given you a lot of choice. Choice is pretty much the hugest thing in Mass Effect. Picking what things happen, what things don't happen. The story unfolds through the choices that you, as the player, tell Shepard, the main character of the game, what to do. Now, the problem with Mass Effect's ending, it's probably, and I'm not going to spoil anything, and it's probably a problem for some people, but to me, I sort of get it now, is that the choices that you get at the end are sort of not seen too well. And also, the ending doesn't give you much choices as you would have had in most other the other games that you've sort of kind of make like a predetermined, like how things are going to go, what's going to happen. What you did in the first game affects what happens in the second game, and what you did in both games does affect the third game. But the ending is a bit predetermined, and frankly, I don't care much, because considering every decision that you've made from the beginning to the end, and now it seems as though these decisions that you can make at the final part of the game, if you've read into the story and if you've understand the conflict, the real conflict, you understand that these are the endings that should have been from the get-go. Now, my only critique in the ending, and that's probably the only critique that I have with the game as a whole, is it was way too open-ended. I mean, there are questions that are left unanswered. There are plot holes that are unexplained. And there are things you wish you would have seen that you don't get shown. And when you think that the game is going to give you a chance to see these things in action, the game ends and you're sort of left kind of wanting to replay it again. Now, I played this first playthrough without doing anything to the readiness level. Readiness level at 50%. And I think that might have screwed me up, because I did not know the multiplayer had something to do with that. That shows about how much I cared about the multiplayer. But then I started playing the multiplayer, and I really, really like it for two reasons. Number one is that it's a fun and engaging experience that doesn't require you to kill your teammates or people from another team just so that you can get your points up, you can get above in the rankings. No, this is more of a team-based experience, and whatever you do in these matter, because, you know, the threat of what's coming to you is greater than the threat that you might have amongst each other. I mean, it's easy if BioWare would have done a multiplayer game. Would you pit engineers versus soldiers versus sentinels versus infiltrators? But no, what they did was it gives you the choice to pick a basic random soldier, infiltrator, engineer, any one of them, and just let them off to town against enemies, and build up from there a very powerful soldier, which you can then move on to, you know, do better stuff and go to different places and do stronger challenges, and you get more gold, you get more weapons, you get improvement on your levels, and you can rule. Actually quite addicted to it as we speak. And the second part is the readiness level. I love that a multiplayer game has purpose, that you can get these people that you'll never see face to face, get them in a game, and you will all compete to get the readiness level you need for your single player story. And you know, it does, I like to think that it will make a dent in the story. I mean, when I checked, my my minimum threat level was way above what I thought it was going to be good. But as it turns out, the readiness level does make a difference. I think I like to see it in my next playthrough, but I am doing that now, and I do plan on continuing to focus that. I will not replay Mass Effect 3 too much until I get that readiness level up. I will get it through playing the multiplayer, and so far I'm doing a soldier, a female soldier. I've got her up in a couple of levels, and I will most definitely like to show you what I've been doing with those for future purposes. Maybe I'll stream myself playing those on a couple of times a night, and maybe I'll let you all join in to check it out. Now, my opinion, I think, of the ending, it all boils down to this. Does the ending of Mass Effect 3 affect the overall experience for me? And I think, personally, the ending doesn't ruin anything. It leaves a lot of questions. It does make me wish for more. But you know what? BioWare did say that they were doing DLC. And they're also I'm pretty sure they did that on purpose. They wanted us to talk about it like we are right now, and I promise I've never been disappointed with BioWare. I'm pretty sure that BioWare is going to be delivering something for us to further emphasize this. But the thing about it is, what I personally think about the ending is that you have done so much with everything that you have gotten through in every game. The characters, you have had so much go through them. You can't know anything more about them that you don't already know if you did play through those first two games. You have done just about every single positive or negative thing you can think of, and now it all boils down to this. And I think this ending is pretty much definitively, in my opinion, the ending does not ruin the entire experience. It actually makes it more special. Now, I know that you guys are gonna, the people that hate the ending are probably gonna go, this guy's a fanboy. Of course he's gonna say that the ending was good. I personally, taking all fanboydom aside, BioWare fanboydom aside, Mass Effect hysteria fanboydom aside, I honestly, without a shadow of a doubt, believe that the ending did leave me doing this. But as I've thought more about that ending, as I thought more about how the experience from my first game, the second game, and the third game all were put together, I personally think that the ending is not ruining anything for me. I loved the game, I loved the experience, I loved how fun Mass Effect 3 was, and I definitely recommend everybody to play this game. But I do not recommend people to play this game if you have not played the first and the second game. Now, do you want to import? Do I recommend you playing this game even if you do not have an imported file from the second game, and that being an imported file from the first game? I don't recommend it, because the part of the overall experience is that you get to relive the decisions that you did. But if you do not have the saves from the first game and played the first game and the second game, and you know exactly what's going to happen, definitely play the third game. Definitely. And, you know, that's my opinion. I've seen people give out their opinions of the game's ending. It's been discussed. There's actually a really nice article, op-ed, discussing the ending on oneup.com. I read it. It was very fascinating, and I feel exactly the same way as those guys. So go to oneup.com. It's riddled with spoilers. Do not go there and read it if you have not played through the game. But if you played through the game and you want to get like a second opinion, I would totally go and read it, and you can formulate your own opinions. And if you hate the ending, if you like the ending, like tell me, well, you know, fine, go ahead and leave a comment down below at the video, and I can totally share what I thought of those moments. But keep it spoiler free, because I'd like people to experience the entireness of this polarizing ending, as they are calling it. But my overall opinion is I love Mass Effect. I love the entire experience. I still believe it's, to me at least, probably the greatest gaming trilogy of all of video games. And it is my personal opinion, because it has delivered more satisfaction in 3 games, an entire experience that I don't think many other games have been able to do successfully. Maybe they've tried, but they haven't been able to. Mass Effect did it. BioWare, still one of my favorite companies. They did an amazing game while focused with this the Old Republic. They think there were different studios, but I'm glad that the team that worked with Mass Effect kept their eye on the ball. And the ending, take it for what you want, but just remember, the ending should not determine the journey of the entirety of the series. And I think if you'd played it more and you played through the first, the second, and the third game, I think you are going to get some enjoyment of the ending. I mean, I think you might be more disappointed or a little bit kind of like with doubts more. But remember, BioWare is promising DLC. Hopefully it is DLC that gives us a less open-ended ending. Like more resolution. That's what I'd like. But other than that, the ending, I thought it was like it gripped me. And I hope it grips you too when you play it. So with that, it ends my vlog for my opinions of Mass Effect 3. Go play it now. It's out now. It's out now live. Play it with or without the From Ashes DLC. If you want to complain about how you have to pay for it, guess what? That's the world of DLC for you. You don't have to pay for it if you don't want to, but I highly recommend it. I got it from pre-ordering and getting the Digital Deluxe Edition, so no complaints there. I loved it. So get Mass Effect 3, play the first 2 games, then get Mass Effect 3. Either one of those 2. This has been Fico, and you have just been into my Mass Effect mind. Peace. Long live the Alliance.